All right, I'm Pete English with Keller Williams at the Atlanta Perimeter office. And today we're going to talk about how to get images into Command. If you notice that their images, they're always asking for a 360 by 360. And you've got your headshot that you've had done by a professional photographer, somebody like that. And it's like a bazillion pixels by a bazillion pixels, and it's way too big to fit in there. And you go, how in the world do I edit that? So what I'm going to show you is how I do it using tools that are free and tools that are readily available for any KW agent. All righty. So let's do this. Let's make me small and put me over there. And if all of you are familiar with Command, one of the things that you do in Command is, let me just get me over here. If you don't know what all these icons mean, then simply click one time in the red square and it will show you what all of these icons mean. What I'm specifically looking for is sites. Down here in the bottom left, I click one time on sites. And as you can see, it's waiting. It must be Tuesday, huh? And what I'm looking for now specifically is agent sites. Notice that the green underline is under landing pages, and this shows us all of our landing pages. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for agent site pages. So I left click one time here. Then over here it says Learn More with Kelly Guides. This is how we set up your web page. So we click one time here and we say, yes, I want to use the new KW agent sites. I click submit. Then this is basically a template matching. If you fill in everything it says, and it builds the website for you. So what we're looking for is get started, and I scroll down to get to the get started. I click one time on get started. I acknowledge and continue. I click one time here, and then we're at the domain. Now, this is not a tutorial on how to set up your web page, okay? This is a tutorial on what happens when you need an image that's 360 by 360. That comes into play when you scroll down over here to your marketing profile information, and I click and go down, and I scroll down some more, and I come down here to where it says profile picture. Recommended size is 360 by 360. Market center, 360 by 360. Team header, 360 by 360. And people are trying to upload these JPEG or PNG files that are 4,000 by 4,000, and they're wondering why it's not working. So here's what we do. All right. I'm going to open I'm just going to leave this browser open. I'm going to open another browser window. And what I'm going to do, since I have a KW login, I'm going to go to my apps, and I'm going to, well, let me do it a different way for you. If we go simply in Chrome, because you may not have a menu system like I do, and you simply type drive.google.com, then Google Drive is going to pop up. And every one of us at Keller Williams has a Google Drive, whether you know it or not. So I simply typed drive.google.com. Let me make it bigger so you can see it. Drive.google.com. Now let me get me over here out of the way. I have a lot of folders in here, and you may not have any folders, and that really doesn't matter, okay? So what I want to do is I want to click the new button. I click new right here, and I thought I moved me. I guess I'll put me in here twice. I'm a pretty happy guy, huh? Now I'm in here 3 times. This is excellent. All right. So I'm going to come down here. I'm going to say new. And what I'm interested in is a new, it said docs, sheets, slides. I'm not interested in any of those. I'm going to hit more. And I'm interested in Google Drawings. So I left click on Google Drawings. And this is basically an editor that allows you to edit images. All right. So right here, let's just say I can name my image anything I want to, and I'm going to call it, say, 360x360, and that simply means 360 by 360, and then I'm going to say Julius, because I have a picture of Julius that he sent me that's like a bazillion pixels by bazillion pixels, and we're going to make it smaller. So I named it 360 by 360-Julius. You can name yours anything you want, all right? Now I'm going to come over here to File. I'm going to come down to Page Setup, which is right here. And it says Page Setup is standard 4x3. But you see this down arrow right here? When I click here, I'll come down to Custom. And instead of inches, I want it to be pixels. All righty? That's what the computer nerds call dots. All right, so we're going to say 360 by 360, and I'm going to hit Apply. All righty? So now, if you notice, the outline is square, and it's 360 pixels by 360 pixels. Obviously, I could make it any size I wanted to, but since Command wants 360 by 360, then that's what I made. I'm now going to say Insert an Image. Now, I happen to have loaded Julius's picture in my Google Drive, but if you had it on your computer or wherever you may have it, just go find it and insert the image. So I'm going to go to Drive. Now over here on the right hand side, I go into my Google Drive and I happen to have it right here. So I'm going to drag it and drop it right there. And notice, I don't know if you can see the outline or not, but it's not quite the same size as my square. So I'm going to grab this corner and see how the arrows turn. We got 4 arrows here, but when I get right on the edge, it turns into 2 arrows, right? I left click and I hold down my left click button and I drag it up and drop it. And now, see, I've got some space over here and some space down here. So now I'm going to drag over this bottom right corner until I have my 2 arrows. I'm going to drag it down here and boom. So now I have a square image of Julius. At this point, I'm simply going to go File, Download, and whether it's a JPEG or a PNG really doesn't matter. Almost all websites love JPEG images or PNG images. You do not want to save it as a PDF or an SVG. So I'll pick JPEG, all righty? So now I'm going to save it to my desktop, temp KW, and I'm going to call it 360 by 360 Julius. I've actually already saved it here so you can see that there it is, right? I'll hit cancel because I don't need to. Oh, if I hit save, it would say, do you want to write it on top of it or save it with the number 1? I'm just going to hit cancel. All righty. So there's my image. It was a bazillion gigaflops by gazillion gigaflops, and now it's 360 by 360. I'm going to come back over here to my tab that's open, which is Command. And right here, when it says Upload, I simply upload. I click here. I go find my Julius image, which is right here, and I open it. And now here's Julius, right? But notice these 4 squares. So what we need to do is we need to do the same thing. I'm going to hover over the bottom right square until my arrows, well, I have a double-headed arrow, left click and drag it down, and boom, there's my photo. I don't need it over here, so I'll hit cancel here. And I can simply say set image, and boom, it'll change this image over here from me to Julius, okay? So that's all there is to it. I'm going to X out because I don't want to change my website, but that's all there is to it. Now, when you come down here for all these other images, you can do exactly the same thing. Is you can go and edit any image you want to be the size that you want it to be. All righty? Hopefully that helped every one of you. And if not, yell at me. We'll figure out something for you, and we'll see you the next time. All righty? Thanks.